And we're doing a 12-step building. We're doing 12-step to building a solid foundation. So the first one was to love God with all your heart and soul and mind. And number 2 was to watch and pray. Number 3, to exercise patience. 4, to obtain wisdom. Number 5, to learning to judge with discernment. And number 6 is recognizing the deception of evil. Number 7 is fearing God. 8 is having faith the size of a mustard seed. And number 9 is today, your purpose for having faith in God. Why do you have faith in God? What is the purpose is what we want to deal with today. And I asked this question on my radio show this week. It was very, very interesting, the type of responses we got from that. So what I want to start out with today, because I like everybody to be involved, I want to know how many of you have faith in God, and what is the purpose of having faith in God? How many of you have faith in God? So everybody but one person. Maybe 2, but she's on her computer. Oh, you have faith. And I think we talked about this already in the meeting, right? And you remember what I said the purpose was? Don't tell me this. Do you remember what I said?
No, I don't think you ever said it.
I didn't say it? Oh, good. Well, good. Do you remember?
Yeah, you did say it.
Oh, but don't say what I said. Not yet. Okay, wait for the mic. So, all right. So everybody in this room have faith in God, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What's your purpose for having faith in God? Why do you have? What's the purpose of having faith in God?
Well, you can have faith in no one else.
No, you can't. We have faith in a whole. We have faith in money. We have faith in another person when we are in love. We have faith in the man that flies the airplane, that he's going to get us there and back. We have faith in hating, all kind of stuff. What's your purpose of having faith in God? You ever thought about that?
No.
You never thought, why do I believe in God? What's the purpose of believing in Him?
Yeah, well, I guess I have thought of it, but I never really... I don't know, I just have faith in God over man.
You just have faith. So you don't have faith in mankind?
No, I put God as a priority first.
And why?
Man lets you down and is a disappointment.
And God doesn't?
No.
So God has never let you down?
No.
He's answered all your prayers?
Yes.
He has?
Yes.
He has. And I'm not, it's not a precious thing. You don't win. I have to do the 3 things before the cock crows. So you said He has?
Yes.
Never let you down?
Yes, not that I'm aware.
Oh, okay. So are you over your anger?
Yes.
You don't have any anger anymore?
I don't believe I do, no.
You don't? How were you able to get over that?
Well, by looking at myself.
Oh, okay. So you have no anger. You're patient now. You're a patient person.
I get angry I get upset sometimes, but not like angry.
Well, what gets you upset if you don't have anger? It's the anger that makes you upset.
Well, everyone's going to have anger at some point.
Why?
No. That's how we are.
Is that the way we should be?
No, but we're not perfect humans.
And so you think it's okay to have anger?
No, it's not okay. Yeah, it's okay to have anger.
No or yes?
Yes.
It is okay to have anger?
Yes.
Okay. And what, I thought you said God
not
took
anger, but it's okay to get upset every now and then.
Why?
Well, Jesus got upset when they were doing something in the temple. Remember, he turned over the table. He was upset about that.
And that made you think that it's okay for you to have anger and get upset?
Well, yeah, but yes.
Yes. What good has anger ever done for you?
It hasn't done any good, but no one's perfect. Everyone's going to get angry upset every now and then.
How do you know that?
Because everyone does. We're human.
But you don't know everyone.
No. Well, the people I know.
All the people you know get upset.
Every now and then, sometimes.
Every now, okay. And that's true. Most of the people you know, they get upset. And that tells you that it's okay to have it, right?
No.
I'm confused. What tells you that it's okay to have it then?
I don't know.
No, just relax. It's a fellowship. It's not a test, or you're not right or wrong or under pressure. We're just fellowshipping. And how come you think, oh, because Jesus had it when you turned over the table?
No, I don't know. It's just, we're just human. I think we get upset every now and then.
Oh, okay. Because we are human.
Yes.
So God has not taken your anger away then?
No, I guess.
But you said he had.
I have it sometimes, every now and then. It's suppressed. What about that? That's a word.
It's suppressed?
Yes.
Your anger is suppressed?
Yes.
Why suppress it?
Well, you said don't let it out.
Okay. Okay, I'll come back to that.
Okay.
All right, I'll come back. Remind me that you said don't let it out, all right? Do not let this in before you remind me.
Okay.
All right. You have faith in God? In the yellow pen, yeah.
No.
You do not have faith in God?
No.
And why do you say no? How do you know you don't have it?
Well, I just think based on my actions that they don't speak to faith.
Oh, okay. Well, good that you know that. There's nothing like knowing it rather than thinking it and then you don't have it. Do you know the purpose of having faith in God?
I mean, I was here last week, so I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. All right. You have faith in God?
Yes.
Hold on, man, I'm sorry. You have faith in God?
Yes.
What is your purpose of having faith in God? Why?
Well, as you just talked about anger, I don't know of any other way for that anger in me to disappear. The only way for it to disappear is through God.
And so
there's no other source available to me, or there's no other means. That's a better way of saying it. There's no other means available for my anger to disappear but having faith in God.
And so you have faith in God?
Well, to some extent.
You said yes.
Yeah.
So is it some extent you don't really have it?
Well, I mean...
You got a little bit?
Huh?
You have a little bit?
I believe in God, and the very thing that I just stated a moment ago.
So you have faith in God, and your purpose for having faith in God is to take away your anger.
Not only to take away my anger, but to all the negative sides of life, all the problems, in a way that would be the only solution to solve these problems.
How long have you?
In other words, all the bad in me would only be able to disappear by having faith in God.
How long have you had faith in God?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
For a year or 2 years, 20 years, 30 years?
I've been, if I may put it that way, I've been seeking God for a long time.
No, how long have you had faith in Him? It's funny how people try to treat the question.
In a way, I would like to say that this is synonymous. Seeking God.
No, that's not what I asked her. I said, how long have you had faith in God?
I can't pinpoint it.
Oh, okay. It's been so long.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the point in time when I started having faith.
Okay, so you have faith in God to take away your anger. All your anger is gone now?
No.
So He didn't take it away?
No, that's correct.
So why not if you have faith in Him?
Well, what that's the only alternative as I can see it. You know, in other words, to pray to Him and ask Him to remove my anger.
And why hasn't He removed it? Because you have faith a long time ago. So long you forgot.
Right. Why is He not taking away the anger? Well, you know what? There's a problem with me for that anger to still be in me.
What's your problem?
You know, not giving up my way would be one way to say it.
I'm sorry?
Not giving up my way.
So if you have
Not
faith in
giving up,
God,
in a way.
if you have faith in God, why haven't you given up your way after all these years? And I'm just doing this to prompt people to think.
You're right,
You're
right.
not under pressure.
Right.
You don't get an A or B or F. I just want you to start thinking.
Right.
If you have faith in Him, why do you get out of the way?
One way to put it would be I have not completely surrendered.
Why not? If you have faith in
Because
Him.
I myself, I'm not able to.
Why not?
I'm not. If it would be my choice and it would be within my ability to do that, I would have done it.
So if you have faith in Him, why hasn't He done that for you?
I would just repeat what I said. Repeat that once more, the last thing you said.
You said you have faith in God, and you had it for a long time.
Right.
Yet you still got all these things going on. You still have anger.
Right.
You're still willful. You won't let go.
Right.
Why have faith in Him if you're not going to let go?
Because obviously what the situation is I have not surrendered. I'm not able to surrender.
So how do you know you have faith in Him then?
Well, because I can see that there are no other solutions to solve my problem. For instance, to overcome the anger, just to use that one example. I do not know of any other way but that way.
But how do you know that way works, since it hasn't worked all these years?
Well, and that I know without a doubt.
But where's the proof? I don't see the proof in the pudding.
That doesn't mean that it is not so.
Oh, okay.
It does not mean that it isn't so.
You have faith in God?
Yes.
What's your purpose of having faith in God?
Salvation.
Salvation?
Yes.
Meaning what?
Meaning that all my anger will be gone and I become perfect.
He's trying to get your attention.
I become perfect.
So the reason you have faith in God for salvation,
Right.
so you can become perfect.
His presence perfects me, would perfect me.
Oh, okay. And so are you perfect?
No.
And do you have salvation?
No.
And how long have you had faith in God?
I don't know. I would say it's for the latter part of my life, not the earlier part of my life.
The lateral part.
Yeah, I would say.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
so how old are you now?
How do I know what?
How old are you now?
I'm 45.
And so between age 1 and 45, where's the lateral part?
I would say somewhere when I stopped giving up a pot, so somewhere around 18 years ago.
You gave up pot?
Yes.
They made the best pot around right now, man.
Yeah.
That was the wrong thing to give up.
I wouldn't touch it. If you gave me $1 million, I would not do it.
All right, I'm going to test you.
Show me the $1 million, I would not do it.
Can you run down to the dope store right next door and get some?
It's been so long. It's been so long that it doesn't.
So you have faith in God for salvation and...
For salvation, primarily,
Okay.
yes.
Have you ever thought about that? What is the purpose of having faith in God?
I think when you asked me that question, I heard your answer. My answer would be that faith, and you kind of covered in the last service, is that it's hope. The hope. I have hope that one day the Lord will save me, and to me that's faith.
No, I asked, why do you have faith, not what is faith?
I think you may have, or if you didn't, I apologize, but I thought you also asked what is faith.
We did have a conversation
more than
about
one
that,
word alluded to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you have faith in God for salvation.
Correct.
and for, I forgot the other thing.
So did I.
To be perfect.
Be perfect.
Oh, okay.
But not perfect in that I do a perfect golf score or anything like that. Just that I'm able to deal with temptations perfectly. Nothing gets to me. I have His grace perfectly in me.
So are you able to do that?
Sometimes there's flickers that come in, and yes, I am.
And then sometimes no?
Sometimes no.
Oh, okay. All right. This is so interesting.
Can I respond? Can I allude to that a little? Because you kind of gave me the third degree on that before.
Huh?
You've given me the third degree on that before.
Oh, okay.
What I mean by that is like an attorney questioned me whether,
I know, I feel like a lawyer.
Whether it's valid or not.
Yeah.
And
I feel like a lawyer.
Yeah, and I feel sometimes I'm in the seat. But, I have to, be as honest as I can.
Yeah,
to,
you have to be you.
Myself and,
That's right.
And to you.
That's right.
And I do believe that there's flickers that come into a person's life, that a person is not totally engrossed in darkness. There are people that are totally engrossed in darkness who end up doing crazy things. But there's this process. Forgive me for using that word.
No, that's
it's
fine.
Not necessarily a process, because you really made me question or think about that. But there's something that's called the dark night of the soul, and I think you expressed it, that before the soul allies itself perfectly to God, it's in somewhat form of darkness, but not complete darkness, because it's going through.
Where are you going with this? What point you want to make?
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that there is flashes of intuition that come into people's lives, and that allows them to see to a certain point that God is good, and it gives them inspiration to stay in the path.
So you're saying that salvation? You're saying salvation is a process.
No, I don't know. I no longer think it's a process, but I think that before you enter in, as you say, so to speak.
You say you don't think it's a process? Or you do think it's a process?
I don't think it's a process anymore. But I think that there's things occurring before you enter in to the kingdom, so to speak, and you're saved from your anger. There's something that's going on.
Why do you think that?
Huh?
Why do you think that?
Because before repentance comes, and it comes from the Lord, something is happening in your life. Whether you're asking God to save you, or you're praying in silence, and the soul is
Why do you think that?
Because that's what I'm experiencing.
Oh, okay.
So,
right.
And again, I'm not the same angry person that I was 30 years ago, and I can tell you that as honestly. I don't get as upset as much as I do.
But you still have anger.
I still have anger, yes, sir.
Okay. Even though you have faith in God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's cool.
Faith that one day He'll take it away.
What?
Faith that one day He'll take it away.
Right on.
Right.
Okay. Mary, you have faith in God?
I do.
You could say whatever you want to say. You could say what I said last week or not.
Well,
why do you have faith in God? What's your purpose for having faith in God?
My purpose for having faith in God is because I suppose I could say God has never failed me, because even as a child, when you're going through all the horrible things that happen,
right,
I always knew that I would be okay.
Yes, absolutely. And so you still have that anger thing going on too?
Yeah. I'm sure I do, but
yes or no? I mean, I'm not trying to press you to say yes or no. Do you have it or don't you have it?
I don't really, but I notice sometimes that I have a tendency to want to, but then I see it and it just kind of moderates away.
Oh, okay. So your purpose of having faith in God, because God never let you down.
Right, and He's there to save me from all of my fallings and failings, and He has a purpose for me, I suppose, because otherwise I could be dead long ago,
Okay. That's your purpose of having faith.
Yeah, because God wants us to come through everything and be with Him. I mean, you know, that's what He put us. Our purpose is to find God and His purpose for us.
Okay.
For me, I mean, that's what I can see.
This is so good. Isn't this good?
Yeah. So.
Isn't this good? Yeah, this is so good. I'm appreciating this.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like you see the hard things and the hardships, and I do, but I'm still optimistic no matter what.
Okay. I'm optimistic that he won't break his neck. What's your purpose of having faith in God? You have faith in God, right?
Yes.
What's your purpose? Why do you have faith in God?
Because He knows what's best for me. I don't. It's funny, Jesse. You ask sometimes the most easy questions, but it's sometimes really difficult to.
I know. I was told that the other day. You ask easy questions, but they're so difficult to answer. My son told me that. We was on the phone yesterday, and he was going on and on about God. So I said to him, "Do you have faith in God?" He's like, "Yes, I have faith in God." I said, "Why? What's your purpose?" And he was like, "Because." I said, "What?" He's like, "Oh man, I don't know." He said, "That's such an easy question that I can't answer it." And this is what we're supposed to be thinking about. Think on these things, because it's amazing how dumb we really are to God, but we've been so well taught, and we're just thinking we have it. We talk about it that we have it, but when we look at our own personal lives, there's nothing to indicate that we have it. Not one iota of a thing. But for some reason, we believe it, and we believe that we understand why we have it. And it's mind-blowing because it's killing us. The enemy is killing us. I'm sorry, go ahead. But my son said the same thing yesterday.
So, I mean, I believe He's in complete control of everything. And I don't know how to answer this.
You never asked yourself before, what is the purpose of having faith in God? Why do I have faith?
I know. I don't think I have. I mean, I'm almost embarrassed to say I don't think I've asked that question. It seems such a logical thing I should have asked.
Yes.
And why haven't I,
That's right.
I mean,
it's a logical thing to ask, but I bet you if you walk the earth, you can barely find 10 people who have asked themselves, well, why do I have faith in God? What's the purpose?
I mean, I do believe that He's my Savior. He died to save me, and that I can be saved.
Right.
I believe in, heaven. But I'm not doing a very good job answering your question.
All right. Well, I just want to get people to think. Mm-hmm. That's all. It's not a test or anything. It's not like I'm better than. It's just that in my heart, I really want to know Him, and I want whatever that relationship that I should be having with Him, I want that. And I've always wanted that. So that's why I tend to ask, and I want to know, and if I'm failing anywhere in my life, it's an indication to me that I don't have that faith, or something is wrong with my relationship with Him.
I would say that since coming here, I feel like I do have a much closer relationship with Him, just through the way, the quiet time and the praying, and it shouldn't just be for a moment in the day. It's kind of like a constant thing.
That's right.
And that decisions I make, have consequences, not to get upset about them, but just realize why I got myself into that,
absolutely,
kind of situation.
Isn't that sweet? Mm-hmm. To be able to live that way? It gets better. You haven't seen anything yet. You have not seen anything. It gets better. Just don't turn around. Don't look to the left or right. Stay on that straight and narrow path. It really happens. Every time I think I know, I don't know. It just gets better and better and better. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And you find yourself examining yourself more too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we have to do. Know thyself. Know thyself. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, Jonathan.
As the conversation progresses here, you know, I really don't have faith in God. I believe God's laws, God's commandments. I can see that is right. That is what I actually. That's what I would like to see in my life happening.
So you don't have faith in God?
Well, you know, there's a saying in the Bible, and that goes that we live by faith, and I can't think of the phrase right now this very second.
We walk by faith and not by sight.
Yeah, right. But you see, for instance, that's not true in my life.
So you don't have faith in God then? You want to change your answer?
Right. I don't have faith in God then.
Why
really
did you
don't.
think you have faith before?
Well,
when I
because
first asked.
somehow thought that looking at the commandments, looking all that you know, reading in the Bible and all this stuff, I can see that I would like to be able to live that way. Yes. But
well,
I'm getting off the question.
Yeah, you are.
In other words, I can see that I'm not living by faith.
But why did you say you have faith when I first came to you?
I got mixed up. Believing all the things that I described just now, I thought would be the same as faith, and it isn't. It is not. In other words,
faith and belief is
God's
the same
commandments, that what it says in the Bible, I believe that to be true.
Do you keep His commandments?
I'm not able to.
Is that a yes or no?
If I would be no.
You don't keep them?
Well, you know, in other words, you know, I think that's kind of hard to put it in one single question.
No, the answer is yes or no.
Well, if I get angry, I'm not keeping God's commandments.
No, I just asked, do you keep His commandments?
Well, that's the only way I can answer it right now.
Is that a yes or no?
I can see that I'm getting angry, and by being angry, I'm not keeping God's commandments.
So do you keep God's commandments?
When it comes to that, no.
No, I didn't ask about that.
I know. You know what?
I'm fighting with the ego here.
I don't. You know, no.
Does
you know what?
Did you see me fighting with the ego?
No, but you know what? I don't know the rest. I don't know.
You don't know if you're keeping God's commandments?
Not in every way, no. But because,
I didn't ask about every way.
Well, there are so many.
This lady hung up on me yesterday on the radio show. Did you hear that? Anybody listen to the show yesterday?
Yes.
She hung up for the same reason he's hanging up now.
I'm not hanging up.
Because you can't hang up.
No, the only thing is, I would think of other situations that occur in my life.
So let me restate the question. Do you keep God's commandments?
No.
You say no?
Well, no, of course not.
Well, why didn't you just say that? You took me all around the Mayberry bush.
What came to mind was the anger. Okay.
No, but I just asked you a simple question.
I know.
You say you believe God's commandment. I said, well, do you keep God's commandment? And you went all the way. I asked you where you've been. You tell me where you're going. I'm glad I'm not married to you.
I'm glad you're not married to me.
So you don't, even though you believe God's commandment, you don't keep them?
No.
Oh. Why is that so hard to say?
Well, you know,
I want you to put extra money in the donation box because that work was too hard.
Okay.
All right. Do you keep God's commandments? I mean, no. Do you have faith in God?
I already know the follow-up question now, don't I?
Yeah, after all that. I bet you're sitting there thinking, what am I going to say? How am I going to answer that? I'm going to say this.
No, you know, I want to, and I've been trying to make myself have faith in God, but I really don't. I have faith in the word that's spoken in my head.
Do you have faith in God?
I do not.
I'm sorry?
I do not.
Okay, but why did you tell me all that other stuff then? I just want to know, why did you say all that other stuff when the answer is no?
We were just talking about the questions.
What?
We were talking about the questions, you know, how I know the other question, and it just got off onto a tangent.
Okay. So you don't have faith in God?
No, I don't.
And did you think you have faith in God before I started talking all this smack?
I do from time to time think I have faith in God.
You do. Why?
It's a pleasant thing to think. It doesn't have to be reality. It's just pleasant to think that. You know, something
Frankie, you
goes
trying
well
to get
for
your
you.
attention.
Something goes well for you, and you think, "Oh, I have faith. That's what happened. That's what made it happen."
Oh.
You know, but
You'd
when
listen to
things
that
go
lie.
bad, then you start to think, "Oh, I don't
okay.
have faith. Wait a minute. I lost my faith. I need to get it back." And it's just a mess.
I understand. I totally understand. Let me ask one other person, then I'll move on here. Let me go to the son of Satan. Hermes, you have faith in God?
I thought you were looking for Pat.
The other son.
That's a nephew. You have faith in
like
God?
Martin said, I like to think that I do sometimes, but no, I don't. I don't have faith.
You like to think you do? Why you like to think you do?
Because it keeps me from suffering.
You can bring the mic up to your mouth.
It keeps me from suffering.
Oh, faith in God keeps you from suffering?
Yeah, I use it kind of as a way to keep me from suffering.
How do you know it keeps you from suffering?
That's a good question.
It's amazing what we say, huh? And have no idea why we're saying it or what it means. He's like, it keeps me from suffering. And I said, why? How do you know it keeps you from suffering? Oh, that's a good question. But he said, and I'm just speaking through you because I'm so guilty of that too, and most Christians are, because it keeps me from suffering. Well, what do you mean it keeps you from suffering? Oh, that's a good question. But just threw it out there, and if there was not a follow-up question, he will walk away thinking that he knows what he's talking about, as we all of us do, because we're so intellectual, we learn the words. And our life, we're still suffering, but we have just confessed that Christ keeps us from suffering. Something's wrong with this. It's no wonder. Go ahead, Emmerich.
I can redeem myself. No, what I mean is that I rely on faith, or I think I have faith. I rely on it to keep me from suffering.
And do you suffer?
At times, but I blame it on my lack of faith.
So are you saying you go in and out of faith?
Yeah,
Oh, is that like being in and out of pregnancy?
I guess.
I'm pregnant this week, but not next week. I want you to turn to Psalms 91. You had a question or comment? Psalms 91, 9 through 11. Psalms 91. Psalms. James just showed you that?
Oh, yes.
Psalm. Whatever. Tell James to stay out of my life. 91. Start with verse 9 through 11. Make your statement or comment first while we're looking for that.
Oh, yeah. You know, you're right about that brainwashing. Nobody ever thinks it takes a trained mind or a humble mind to think beyond the first few responses that you give to someone who's questioning you. But you know, it's like when you're given the third degree. The third degree means they're just asking a third question.
Yeah.
We only think to one or two questions, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And we're satisfied that those words sounded good.
They sound good, feel good to the ego.
And
now everybody thinks you're holy.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go, yeah, that's right. I believe in God too, to keep from suffering.
Right.
And you suffer all day and night. Will you read that for me? Psalm
91, can you repeat that once more?
91,
Yeah.
verse 9 through 11.
Okay.
Okay, I got a Bible that has old language.
Okay.
For thou hast said, the Lord is mine hope. Thou hast set the Most High for thy refuge. There shall none evil come upon thee, neither shall any plague come near thy tabernacle. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways.
Okay, real good. I want you have the other Bible, the Christian Bible? You don't have a Bible with you? Which Bible do you have?
Me?
Right here.
Mine's the MacArthur Study Bible.
Read it from your Bible.
Because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways.
Absolutely. The purpose of having faith in God is so that he can defeat our enemies.
Say it once more, please.
The purpose of having faith in God is so that he can defeat our enemies.
Yeah, I see.
He can defeat the temptations that Satan brings upon us and the challenges that the world brings upon us. That's why we have faith in God. Now, as a result of having faith in God, we start to develop the mustard seed faith that will move mountains. But because we don't really know why we have faith in God, we don't really let go and let God. We don't let go and let God. We'll claim that we do, but we're fighting every challenge. We're fighting every temptation. We're putting our will into it, and it's not working. And when I realized that, wow, that's the purpose of having God, faith in God, because he in Psalm 91, it says that it's not us who fight for us, but it's God who fights for us. He has even put his angels in charge over us. But we don't know that because we have never been told that. We've only been told this other stuff. So we really don't let go and let God. You really don't. And until you understand that, until you can see it clearly, your mind, the thoughts will forever control you and convince you to fight your own battles. So when things come, you don't let go. You try to resolve them right away. You become afraid. You want to get rid of the pain right away. You start freaking out. You worry about things. But God said that if we were to be still and let the Lord fight our battles, then the victory shall be ours. But no one, because we don't know why we have faith in him, we're not trusting him at all. Not at all. And I have to tell you, it's mentally a scary thing to do. To really let go and just let things be and watch him work them out. Because your mind is working on you that it's not going to work out. That it's going to turn out bad for you. That you got to do something now. And we're so accustomed to following the thoughts. That's why God said we have to bring every thought into captivity. You have to let go and bring every thought into captivity. And that way, when the temptation comes to do something about it, you won't, because you're letting go and wait upon him. And you will start to see that he is working out stuff, and it will build your faith. You will develop that faith of mustard seed, and that's when you can move mountains or whatever you want. But you got to stop fighting anything or anybody. You got to completely let go. That's how you show you have the faith. He will. He's in charge of ourselves. We can do nothing. It's he who fight our enemies, not us. It's a spiritual battle. And everything we do is spiritual. When people are talking about you, when whatever is happening, it's all spiritual. Let it happen. It's fine. Don't believe this lie that you need to resolve this right away. Let yourself feel the pain of it, the fear of it, the uncertainty of it, because it's all ego.
Right on.
It's not you that's feeling that. You got to bring those thoughts into captivity, and you got to let go. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's why we have faith in God, so that he can defeat our enemies. Any questions about that? Yes, sir.
That kind of reminds me, Jesus, like in the kingdom of heaven, I think he was alluding to faith that was a little yeast that can come into this to the bread and work salvation out. I mean, it kind of reminds me when you're talking about that faith, because it also says faith without works is dead.
It's dead. And the average person does not have faith. The average Christian don't have faith. They'll say it, but there are no follow-up questions, so they don't examine it any further than what they have just said. They don't say, well, you know, if I have faith, how come I'm so defeated? Why do I have fear? Why am I so uncertain? Why do I go along with that stuff? If I have faith in the man who created me, who created all things, who owns all things, who put life in my body, who just brought me out of nothing, out of nowhere, all of a sudden there's Jesse, they don't say, well, why, if I have faith in this person, how come I'm tripping out? They don't push it any further than that. And then the moment something happens, they try to fight their own battles. They don't have faith in God. And I'm developing it now because he's showing me. I'm able to let go now because I did not know until recently that if I truly have faith in him, and the purpose of it is to let him fight the battle, not me. And it's so relaxing because as I relax in that, I can also see the mind working, and it feels like scary, like, right? But I know the thoughts of my enemies now. I'm convinced of that. And there are no true thoughts at all. Not one. Isn't it so nice? Yes? Just imagine we have to really, really let go. You can't pretend to let go because you can't pretend to let go but not really let go. You can't fool God. And he's not going to do anything as long as you're trying. But if you let go, you're showing faith. And you got to feel all these weird things because Satan is feeding the thoughts. That's why you got to overcome that by bringing those thoughts into captivity. He said, bring every one of them into captivity. You had a question or comment. In the meantime, I want you to turn to, what do I want you to turn to? Mark 9:23. It's good to read the Bible sometimes. It doesn't hurt. You ever read the Bible?
Sorry, Jesse, what passage?
Mark 9, verse 23. You ever read the Bible?
Every blue moon.
I can't see you read the Bible. You don't look like a man that will read the Bible.
I just recently learned how to read.
How to read the Bible or read period?
Period.
Oh, okay. Why don't you read the Bible?
I used to read it a lot. I don't know why I don't read it so much anymore. To be honest with you, I don't know why.
Isn't it cool? The purpose of believing in God is so He can fight our battles. Yes. That's why we believe in Him. Yes. We don't believe in Him because He's gonna make everything all right. He's gonna give me this. He's gonna give me that. Because having faith in Him automatically brings those things. Those things come anyway. So that's not why we believe in Him. Like we believe in our earthly fathers when we were kids. And because we believe in our earthly father, He feeds us, He shelters us, He just takes care of us. But that's not why we believe in Him. We just find comfort in Him because we expect our Father to protect us as children. It's a natural expectation, right? And so as children of God, we should have that natural expectation in the Father too, our Heavenly Father, who is in us. That He would just naturally fight our battles for us. Because we are children. We're not adults. You had a question? Oh, I'm sorry. You had a question, right? Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Well, you know what? The difficult part is what you're describing. You need to get yourself completely out of the way.
And how do you do that?
By completely giving up.
How do you do that?
That's $1 million question right there.
Oh, okay. And see, even, and it's not a put down to you at all.
Yeah.
Even what he just said right now, all learned Christianity stuff.
It's right.
You got to get yourself out of the way of God. But I want to tell you, how do you get yourself out the way of God? So you grow up going around the world, oh, I got to get myself out of the way of God. And it sounds right, and it is right, but how do you do that? You know? So you ask the person who said it, well, how do you do that? Oh, I don't know. But had we not asked, he'll walk away feeling holy, and we'll walk away thinking that he is holy.
Right.
And then we'll start saying, oh, I got to get myself out of the way of God. Isn't that true? You hate your mama.
You know, in other words, becoming holy without giving up your ego is a trip that you can't be on, that I've been on. Yes, sir, I've been on that.
I want to say all human beings, because we were born in sin, and the sin is the ego, wanting to be God. So we're all, that's why he said we must be born again.
But you see, for instance, to be holy without giving up your ego is what is, was for me the thing.
I know what you mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody is holy, but they haven't given up the ego, the pride.
Yeah, but that's the reason it doesn't work.
It is so weird. It is so weird to surrender to God like what I'm telling you. To just literally do nothing about your situation. It is the weirdest thing I ever seen. But it's so real. It's so real. May I read Mark 9 when he gets to you with the mic? Did you have a question, Patrick? Okay. Read Mark 9, verse 23, I think.
Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth.
And that's what happens when you have faith in him and you let go. I mean, don't pretend like you have faith. Just really let go and then have control over resist the devil by bringing all thoughts into captivity. Then whatever you believe, all things are possible for the person who believes. And if we want this faith that I'm talking about, we got to be willing to endure all things, as Christ did. Christ endured all things when he was here, because he had faith in the Father. So he went through it, and he realized it's not me, it's my Father that's in me. But most Christians can't truly say it's the Father in them because they're not overcoming anything. They're not enduring anything. So when they say, well, it's not me, it's the Father in me, they're lying, and they're just saying it because they heard it and they read it. But we look at their lives, they're not enduring anything. Isn't there something?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, as we're sort of interacting and talking about this, last week we talked about faith, and, I look at my sort of definition of faith, and it's a definition I learned in school. And I sort of realize now that, like, the Spirit doesn't move in words like what we learn. And so we're all so set up from such an early age, from schooling. It gives us all these words, and you hear John talking, and all John just says is a bunch of words that he's learned. And the Spirit reveals things, but the Spirit doesn't reveal it in the words in which we've been accustomed to learning. It's like your definition of faith is like completely opposite of what my definition is, and I feel fairly confident in my dictionary definition because I learned it and I've known it for years. And I think a lot of Christians also are stuck in words rather than in revelation.
That's right. And I had that too, and I'm overcoming it. I knew exactly what, before the last couple of weeks or so, I would have said, well, why do you have faith in God, Jesse? Oh, because he does this for me, or he does that for me. He gives me something, or I know he'll take care of me. I didn't know the reason I have faith in him, even though when I look back now over the last 24 years, he has been fighting my battles. But for some reason, I wasn't aware of it as I am now. But he's totally been fighting my battles, and believe me, I've been through a lot of them. And it wasn't for him fighting them, I would not have made it. But now that I know he's fighting it, it gives me confidence even more so I can relax now and really allow him to do it. It is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. This is why God want us to seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and all things will be added. We got to keep him in the forefront of our heart, our life, in the forefront of our mind. And then he'll start revealing and things will start happening. And so in the way to get this faith I'm talking about, you must have a willingness to endure all things that befalls you, that try to overtake you. Don't fight against it. Relax in it. And you'll start to see why you have this faith in him. Because you see him operating, and then you start building that little mustard seed of faith, and then you'll be walking down the road, and you tell the mountain to get out your way, and it'll be gone. And you're like, oh, this is cool. And you'll relax more and more and more and more. It'll build your faith. Till after a while, you can look up at Hollywood and tell that mountain to get out of your way. You know what I'm saying? It does work, but we've been so messed up, and I'm sorry for that. Because it's the ego teaching and the ego mind is the hardest thing for us to overcome. Because that's all we see. We don't have this other thing working. At least we're not aware of it. And it's God's grace that keeps us alive so we can finally find it. That's why we're not dead yet. His grace, he loves us. Yes?
I say, also the way that you're asking the questions, just having a question asked is good. It actually shows you don't have faith, too.
Yes.
But I've always noticed getting irritable when someone questions me. So I don't, so especially if you're questioning me and I think I know something.
Yeah.
I get irritable for lower or higher amounts depending on the day, right? Sometimes it might be really irritable.
Yeah.
But that's kind of interesting.
And you know why you get irritable, right?
I think, yeah, because there's something in me who wants to say I know the answer, and the fact that someone's asking me a question starts to kind of chip away at my faith, so to speak, in the answer. I kind of know deep down that I don't really know it all the way.
Yes. Yeah. The ego does not want to be exposed. It does not want you to know that you don't know. That's why if I keep asking the question, you keep coming up with more answers and more answers and more answers. And eventually you would have quoted the whole Bible and still don't know, when the answer could have been no. So that's why it's not you, but it's that thing that's made a home in you. It's the exact same thing that Paul was talking about when he said, I have to realize that it's not me, but it's something made a home in me. And it's that ego that does not like to be exposed. So if I keep asking the questions, I become the enemy. You get mad at me because I'm exposing it. And it doesn't want you to see. It wants to stay in the darkness. And then the ego will say, blame him. And then you'll blame me. Why you keep asking me all that? When I have guests on the radio show, especially the children of the lie, even some of the Christians, though, when I ask them questions past the norm questions, they start getting mad. Well, I'm not here to talk about that. Or my religion is private. How you going to have a private religion? Here you are, the light of the world, the salt of the earth, and your religion is private. You know that's ego. Go ahead, Pat.
I was going to mention that woman that you had on yesterday, I knew she would probably scamper at some point because of her voice showed that she was kind of a looking down kind of voice.
Yes.
That she had the answers, and
yeah.
she didn't want to be questioned to begin with. So I'm not surprised at some point she was just going to get out of there.
Yeah, but I didn't know she was going to go so fast, though. Because when you see her picture, she looked like one of those tough black women.
Well, she was irritated by questions being asked of her. Like,
yeah,
it's almost like beneath her dignity to answer a question.
Yeah, that's all ego. So here it is, folks. Did this help a little bit so far?
Yes.
Here, the way you find the answers, you really do have to keep your eyes on yourself. You really do, because when you take your eyes off yourself, you lose sight. And you take your eyes off yourself by being mad at your fellow man, by looking down on others, by being puffed up with your own ego, by quickly going with thoughts. And the minute the thoughts tell you something, you go with it. You're not paying attention. But God is with us, and He's equipped us, and He will fight our battles because He loves us. And the battles are spiritual. Everything you do is spiritual. Everything. Even when you're laughing. Watch how you can tell if your laugh is a lie or is real laughter. I'm telling you, you just have to watch yourself. So God is with us. He will fight our battles, but we got to totally let go. And that feeling that you have, I mentioned this scary feeling because I was thinking this morning, and somebody else, I have to trust him of whom I cannot see. I don't see him to trust him, you know. But when I trust him, then I can see him. I know he's working there, right? So, but the mind doesn't want to let go and let that happen because it has to die. You get control over it, and it wants to die. I mean, it has to die, and it doesn't want to die. And so somebody mentioned God's voice. God said, I think Ken did, God said, my children shall know me by my voice. His voice is not in your mind, not one iota. It's not in your head. His voice is a revealing voice. He said, not what he learned in a dictionary or heard in grade school about having faith in God. So you got to be still and know him and allow God to fight every little challenge or situation for you, and you will start to see what I'm talking about, folks. But you got to let go of everything that you think you know. Everything that you've been taught intellectually, you got to let it go. As you see here today, it just words. And if you push a person, they got more and more words. There's a guy that called my radio show because I asked a biblical question the other week out of Tennessee. He's like, why are you asking those questions? He's already mad about the questions. Just hear me ask the questions. Because the ego does not like to be exposed. I'm telling you, it's not even you getting mad. It's the ego getting upset because some light is being shined on it, and it doesn't want that to happen. It hates the light. So you got to get to know God. You must overcome your anger. And I have to just tell you, I know a lot of people don't want to believe it. As human beings, we should not have anger. I don't care if everybody and their mama has it. We should not have anger because anger is the nature of the prince of darkness. It's not the nature of God. God's nature is love. God's nature is light. God's nature reaches out to help people, not condemn them, not be rude and mean to them, not to take things personally. So anyone with anger takes things personally at times. They do, and that's not love. And we have a responsibility to love our enemies, love those who hate us, love those who go against us. And so you have anger, you're not able to do that. And I'm sorry again that you've been taught that anger is normal and everybody has some, and I have it because I'm not perfect. Those are all evil excuses given to you by your ego. Don't believe that. It is not true. And one other thing I just want to mention, I would like for you to do what you want to get over this idea that salvation is a process. That's another setup. Salvation comes at the twinkling of an eye. Salvation is at hand already. And at hand is not a process. If you already have it, it's not a process. It's be like, I'm asking you for $1,000, you give it to me, and I'm still waiting for the process. You know, we already have it. We just have to relax and receive it. We have it. All right? We need your tithes and offering, your donations. If this is helping you, then you have a responsibility to give back so we can help others as well, all right? The information how to send it in is on the screen there. You can also call 800-411-2663. You know, I really want to see people wake up because the lie is winning right now in every area of our life. They know how to motivate you. They know how to get you to take on their conversation and go along with them. And we are going to lose if we continue to fight. It's time to turn the table on darkness, on the lie, with the truth, all right? Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate it. And thank you guys for coming, too.
For more information, to purchase a copy of this program, or to make a donation, visit us on the web at bondinfo.org or call 1-800-411-2663. That's 1-800-411-2663. 411-BOND.
What you run away from? You're already home. What you run away from? You're already home. You're already home, my dear. Please forgive me. I hear your song when I am singing. I know I can't see the ending. I ask you to please come back to me.